Hello, welcome to Introduction to Java Programming. In this session, we will see how to write first Java program and the development environment setup which is required to write Java programs. Let's proceed. In order to write the first Java program, you need to understand a few of the following. Where do we write? Do we need any specialized software to write Java programs? Or an editor is sufficient? And how do we save and where do we save? What is the extension for Java program? And how do we compile and run our Java programs? In order to do so, how to download Java? What is the authentic source? All these details we are going to discuss in this particular session. To begin with, where do we write our Java programs? We just require a text editor to write Java programs. What are text editors? So any editor that accepts text which is in the form of lowercase and uppercase alphabets, 0 to 9 numbers, and the special symbols which are actually allowed in the cassette. As an example, we have Notepad in Microsoft Windows, and we have TextEdit if at all you are using Mac OS, or we have different text editors available for different operating systems. And we also have some rich text editors. For example, we have something called Notepad++. We have something called Sublime Text, which I am using now. Sublime Text. And of course, we have something called Atom, and we have so many rich text editors. What is the difference between a text editor and a rich text editor? Rich text editors have the language support. They will understand what is the keyword. They will actually differentiate keywords with the variables. Okay, names and other important components of your program are highlighted with the different colors that we will experience now in a minute. We also write our programs in integrated development environments. If you're a professional developer, definitely will be using any of the IDEs. The most famous IDEs for Java program, that starts with Eclipse. So we have Eclipse, which is available. And after that, we can actually go with IntelliJ IDEA. And we have VS Code, Microsoft Visual Studio Code, and we have NetBeans. And these are the popular integrated development environments of Java programming. You can use any of these IDEs. So during the course, I will also introduce you one of the IDEs. And most popular will be Eclipse. And most probably we will be going with Eclipse. The Eclipse looks like this. Yeah, so once we figure out where we have to write our Java program, and once we have that particular editor or IDE or rich text editor, so then you will write your Java program. Of course, to write, we should learn about the Java program, its structure. We should understand how to write a Java program, what is class, what is main method, and so many other relevant details. Okay, before we go to that, assume you have written a Java program. How do we save that? What is the extension for Java program? And where do we save that? The extension for Java program is .java. Like C program has .c and C++ program has .cpp. Python program has .py, and Java program has an extension that is .java. Where do we save? We save the Java program in our machine, wherever we wish. We store in the secondary memory so that that will be there forever. As long as your system is active, as long as your memory is active, your program will be there. Then we have to execute that particular Java program. You have to run that particular Java program. So how do we do that? For that, you require Java software. Your Java program can be executed if you have the underlying Java language support. How do we get that? In order to do that, we need to download Java. From where you will download it? Who is the owner of Java? All these details actually we have to see. So in order to download Java, we need to go to its owner. Java is owned by Oracle.com. So you need to go to Oracle.com and then say /Java. There you can actually get an option to download Java. And you should understand the requirement for which you are writing program. So you have to choose your version. The latest version of Java is 20, that is recently released. And if you want to go to Java 11 or Java 8 or Java 17, you can actually choose the specific version and you can download. Okay, so once we download, we install, then we are set actually to compile our Java programs. What is compilation? Compilation is translation of your high-level Java code to the machine language. Because the machines will understand only the binary language, the native language of the machine. And we understand our mother tongue and the language which we used to communicate, which is English. So we write programs also in English, and it has to be understandable by your machine. So you require something called a compiler. This compiler translates our high-level Java code, that is .java code, to the machine understandable language. But here in Java, the compiler is going to produce something called bytecode, which is having an extension called dot class. And this bytecode is later interpreted by Java interpreter. So Java is both compiled and interpreter. So in order to interpret, you require something called JVM, Java Virtual Machine. In JVM, we have a component called interpreter. That interpreter executes this bytecode, the dot class file, line by line. So you will understand the difference between a compiler and the interpreter. Compiler takes whole program at once and generates the output, which is actually the bytecode or dot class file. And this bytecode is executed line by line. So Java has both the things, compiler as well as the interpreter. The interpreter, the command for interpreter is Java. The command for the compiler is Javac. So all these things we can actually see when we download. Okay, so let's now understand one after other in a sequence. Okay, so now I have the editor. So this is actually the Sublime Text which I'm using. You can actually go and download if at all you want to follow the same. So go to any browser, just ask for Sublime Text, you will get it. So now the latest version that is available is Sublime Text 4. You can actually download that. So based on your OS, you have to choose it. It's available for all the operating systems. You can actually go with Windows or any Linux version or otherwise Mac. And I have the Sublime Text available here. And by using Sublime Text, you can actually write all these programs, and your editor, this editor knows actually these languages. So now I am going to write Java. So I will actually choose Java here. And I am going to write my first Java program. So the first Java program is going to be like this. A Java program is a collection of classes. At least there should be one class that is called the main class. Now the class which I'm going to write, I'm giving a name as first. And this class becomes a main class if it contains the main method. So there is a main method in Java which has a special syntax, that is public static void main string array args. You can see public static void main string array args. I'm not typing, I'm using just main and I'm pressing the enter. It comes actually in the Sublime. Okay, so main method is actually the starting point of your program execution. So in main method, we can actually have some statements written. When the program starts, those statements will get executed. As of now, I just want to print a string to the monitor, the output device, to get printed as an outcome. So in order to print this, I'm just using system.out.println. So this is how we actually print something in Java. You have to use the println method, which is actually available in some class, which is actually called printstream class. With the help of a member, the static member out, which is actually the part of a system class. So we will clearly demystify what is system.out.println later on. As of now, this system.out.println is used to print something to the output device. So here I just want to print something like hello world. I just want to say hello to the world. So this is a string. Any string is actually kept in two double quotes in Java. So this is my first Java program. So I'm using an editor, which is a rich text editor called Sublime. I'm going to save this. So where we are going to save this? So this I'm going to save in my desktop. So I want to create a folder, and this folder name I'm giving as practice. I'm giving a practice-java. This is my folder. So in this folder, I'm going to save my Java program. And I have to give a name to this Java program. And this is my first Java program. And I have given the name as first. I have given that name as first to my class. So I just have to follow the same class name. So first.java, which is going to get saved into practice Java folder in my desktop. And now you can see first.java is the file name. In the file, I have a class, public class first, and I have the main method, and main method is required to execute your Java program. So this forms the starting point actually. This forms the starting point of the program. So without main, you cannot execute a Java program. So now I have written an editor, which is my Sublime Text. And then what I have to do? So later I have to save it. I have saved it. and my desktop with .java as an extension. And I just need to see whether I have the Java installed in my machine or not. If it is not there, then I have to download it. Let me actually check. So here I am in Mac. So I'm going to my terminal. If you are in Windows, you have to go to your command prompt. If you are in any Linux operating system, you just have to open your terminal. So Mac and Linux terminal is there from where you can actually invoke your programs. Whereas in Windows, you require to go to command prompt and you have to invoke your programs from there. So here, I'm actually in my desktop. So this is what you can actually see here. If I say ls, all my folders you can find. So just now we have created one folder, that is practice-java. Fine. So let me test whether my Java is already installed. So if it installed, what is the latest version? So now I'm checking for my Java compiler. Java C stands for Java compiler, and I say version, Java C hyphen version. So it is 17. My Java version is 17. My Java compiler version, in fact, is 17. And the latest version is actually 20, which was released very recently. And Java is both compiled and interpreted. Let me actually see what is the version of Java interpreter. So I can say Java stands for Java interpreter, and I can say Java version. Then then you can actually find all these details. So I'm using OpenJDK version 17, and this is actually a server VM, server virtual machine. Okay, so when you install Java SDK, Software Development Kit, or JDK, Java Development Kit, you will get installed with your Java Lang specification and your Java runtime environment. So a Java runtime environment contains JVM plus Java API. So here the JVM version is of 17. So now I'm good to go with my Java programs. That means I can compile and I can interpret my Java programs. So if you have not installed Java, so then you need to go to the owner of Java. Oracle owns Java, and you just visit oracle.com and then just say Java. So you will land it to this page. And here you can actually see Oracle Java is the #1 programming language and development platform. And Java 20 is available now. Very recently it got released. And now you need to click on this download Java. When you click on, you will actually see here what are all available. Java 20 is available now, and Java 17 LTS, long-term support, is also available. And for every 6 months, a new version is released by Oracle for Java. So you can actually see here, JDK 20 will receive updates under these terms until September 2023, when it will be superseded by JDK 21. That means the coming September, you will have Java 21, JDK Java Development Kit 21. And you will have Java 22 in March 2024. Okay, for every 6 months, Java releases a new version. So here you need to go and then you have to choose the Java software according to your operating system. If you are running on Linux, then you have all these things available. Linux has both RPM as well as Debian packages. If you're using Ubuntu, then you have to go for Debian. If you're using any Fedora, then you have to go for RPM package. If you are on Mac, then go for any of these things. And if you are in Windows, you can actually go for x64 installer, and you can actually get that one installed into your machine. Otherwise, you can also go for x64 MSI installer. Okay, so this is the authentic source for downloading your Java. Once it is downloaded and installed, the path is going to get set automatically. You need not to do any fiddling with path setting. Automatically, the path is going to get set. Just you need to go to your command prompt if you are in Windows, or otherwise terminal in if you are using Linux or Mac OS. Just check these two commands. Just check these two commands. What is javac version and what is Java version? So you install the whole package JDK, you will get both of them. And whatever the version that you install, that is actually going to get displayed over here. Fine. So this is what you have to do once you want to execute your Java programs. Yeah. So now we have Java available with us. Now we need to compile. So in order to compile, we require javac as a command. And later, when it gets successfully compiled, we have to interpret it with the help of a command called Java. Let's see that process. So now my program is available to me. I have written public class. First, let me explain few details about this. So first is the class name, and class is the keyword. Public is a visibility specifier. Public means it is available for everybody for access. And I have a main method which has a return type void. That means it returns nothing. And the main method has two modifiers. One is visibility specifier, one is non-visibility specifier, that is static. We'll see what is public and what is static in detail. And this main method must have to take an argument whose name is args, which is of type string array. The main method takes as an argument an array argument which is of type string. And in the main method, we can actually have some code written. As of now, I am just pushing a string to my output device. This is a pretty simple first Java program, and it has been saved. Now, in order to compile, I need to go to the corresponding folder where I am actually saving this. So I have saved this in my folder in my desktop that actually practice-java. Since I'm already in desktop, so I'm just going into practice-java. Yeah, so in practice-java, let's actually see what are the files which are there. So there is only one file that is called first.java. Okay, so ls is for listing the files. Now I need to compile this javac first.java. Javac is Java compiler, and we are giving first.java. So I'm telling here to the compiler, please translate my first.java program, which is there in my desktop. And in the desktop, there is a folder called practice-java, and compile this first.java from that particular folder and keep the outcome there itself. What is the outcome of Java compiler? It is the .class file if everything is fine. Now, when I enter, I didn't get any error. That means successfully it got compiled. Now, you say ls over here, then you can see in this directory, there are two files. First.java is what I have written, and first.class is what actually generated after Java compilation process. That first.class file is called bytecode, which is actually very optimized and efficient binary code. And that code has to be now interpreted. So line by line execution is going to happen. So let me actually interpret it. Java is the command for interpretation, and the interpreter only takes .class files. So you need not to mention .class. So you just give the name of your .class file. So Java space first. Now when it interprets, It starts with the main actually. In the main, there is only one statement, that is hello world, and that is going to get printed over here. So hello world, you can see as an outcome. That's it. So this is how you can compile and execute your first Java program. Now, if at all you want to see the bytecodes, so there is an option actually to see. So we have a Java P command that is available, print bytecodes, and I just have to say Java P space first. So I have to give dot class file, because dot class file is the bytecode. Now you can actually see the bytecodes generated for this first dot class. So it is compiled from first.java, and these are the bytecodes actually, the high level details of the bytecodes. So we have the class first. In that we have got a default constructor generated, which is supplied by the compiler. We will see all these details later on. And we have the main method. The main method, there is a string array. A string is a predefined class which is available in a package called lang, which is there in Java package. So java.lang.string is the fully qualified name of a string class. If at all you want to see the detailed bytecodes of this particular first dot class, we can actually use this flag -c. Then you can actually get the bytecodes, the fuller bytecodes of this particular dot class file which got generated. Okay, so Java P is actually useful tool to actually see the bytecodes and understand many details. Okay, so with this, what we have understood is where we are actually writing our Java program, and where and how we are saving our Java program, and how to download Java program, and from where we have to download authentically, and how to compile and how to run our first Java program. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. Just choose editor based on the availability, based on your OS. It's Notepad or Notepad++, if it is Windows, or Sublime Text, which works on any of the operating systems. And if you have some idea, you can actually straight away jump into the IDEs, Eclipse, NetBeans, VS Code, IntelliJ IDEA, or any other which you actually know. But these four are more popular things actually. So I hope you have understood how to write the first Java program and what are all required to write the Java program and execute the Java program. That's all for this session. Thank you.